Los Angeles, the city of angels. Sprawling metropolis bathed in sunshine, pulsating with life. In the mid-1980s, a darkness descended upon this radiant city. A predator lurked in the night, shattering the illusion of safety. No one was safe from the terror of the Night Stalker. Brutal attacks shattered the city's festive mood. The citizens of Los Angeles found themselves enveloped in fear. The reign of the Night Stalker began not with a roar, but with a whisper. A series of burglaries hinted at a darkness beneath the city's sunny facade. The first murder, attributed to Richard Ramirez, occurred on June 28, 1984. Jenny Vinkau, a 79-year-old widow, was found brutally murdered. He preyed on the vulnerable, breaking into homes in the dead of night. He moved through the city like a malevolent phantom, striking without warning. The news, hungry for a story, seized upon the escalating terror, splashing headlines across their front pages. The Night Stalker became a chilling embodiment of the fear that had gripped Los Angeles. Every creak in the night, every shadow seemed to whisper his name. The LAPD grappled with a case unlike any they had encountered before. The city watched, holding its breath, as the investigation unfolded. The fear seeped into the very fabric of Los Angeles. The city of angels, though wounded, refused to surrender to the darkness. El Paso, Texas, where the desert met the Rio Grande, became the birthplace of a monster. Richard Ramirez, born in 1960, entered a world of poverty and violence. Ramirez's family life was turbulent and abusive. His cousin Miguel, a Vietnam War veteran, fascinated and terrified him. He shared photos of his victims, their lifeless eyes staring blankly. Violence became real, tangible, even glamorous. Section 3, Descent into Darkness. By his late teens, Richard Ramirez was adrift, unmoored from normalcy. Drugs and petty crime consumed his days, his nights in a haze of intoxication. In 1977, at 17, Richard fled El Paso for California. He landed in Los Angeles, a city teeming with opportunity and shadows. For Richard, it was a playground of temptation. His drug use escalated, his appearance disheveled. Richard's interest in the occult intensified. His fascination with Satanism darkened. The transformation to the Night Stalker was nearing completion. As the body count rose, so did the disturbing details. Ramirez incorporated elements of the occult into his attacks. Pentagrams appeared at crime scenes, scrawled in blood. As the Night Stalker's reign of terror stretched on, dread settled over Los Angeles. The city, once a beacon of sunshine, found itself shrouded in darkness. Fear seeped into every crevice. The once vibrant nightlife dimmed. The LAPD turned to the public. A citywide appeal urged citizens to come forward. The Night Stalker was now the subject of countless conversations. Tip lines were flooded with calls. Every tip was meticulously investigated. Neighbors formed watch groups, reclaiming their city. August 1985. The sweltering summer heat intensified the fear. The Night Stalker eluded the law. His reign of terror was about to end. In the early hours of August 24th, Ramirez made a mistake. After attacking a couple, he fled in a stolen car. News spread, but this time there was a witness. A teenage boy glimpsed the assailant. The police launched a massive manhunt. August 1985. The sweltering summer heat intensified the fear. The Night Stalker eluded the law. His reign of terror was about to end. In the early hours of August 24th, Ramirez made a mistake. After attacking a couple, he fled in a stolen car. News spread, but this time there was a witness. A teenage boy glimpsed the assailant. The police launched a massive manhunt. August 1985. The sweltering summer heat intensified the fear. The Night Stalker eluded the law. His reign of terror was about to end. In the early hours of August 24th, Ramirez made a mistake. After attacking a couple, he fled in a stolen car. News spread, but this time there was a witness. A teenage boy glimpsed the assailant. The police launched a massive manhunt. News of the Night Stalker's capture spread through Los Angeles like a jolt of electricity. The reign of terror that had held the city captive for over a year was finally over. Richard Ramirez, his face battered and bruised, was in police custody. His capture was splashed across the front pages of every newspaper. The city, as if awakening from a long nightmare, slowly began to exhale. The streets belonged to them once more. The capture of Richard Ramirez marked a turning point for Los Angeles. The trial became a stage for chilling testimonies, painting a harrowing portrait of Richard Ramirez's terror. Survivors, voices trembling, recounted their ordeals, memories seared into their minds. Family members, faces etched with grief, described the void left by their loved ones. The prosecution, bolstered by emotional testimonies, presented a compelling argument for Ramirez's guilt. They argued for the harshest punishment, death. The gavel fell, echoing through the courtroom, ending one of Los Angeles's most terrifying chapters. Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, had been held accountable for his crimes. Sentenced to death, he would spend his days on San Quentin's death row. The city, though relieved, could not erase the scars he left behind. The fear lingered in the shadows, haunting the city's psyche. The legacy of Richard Ramirez is complex and unsettling. He evokes horror and revulsion, a reminder of life's fragility. Amidst the darkness, there are glimmers of light, testaments to human resilience. The capture of Richard Ramirez was a testament to community power. The trial showcased the strength and resilience of the victims. They faced their trauma with courage. Their testimonies a testament to the human spirit. The legacy of Richard Ramirez is not just one of darkness. It is also a story of the human capacity for both great evil and great good.